Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an exciting new unboxing video. Well, it was supposed to be exciting, but I'm going to discuss a couple of problems. Anyways, let's start out with two phenomenal knives, okay? If you follow my channel, you've seen my progression from production Spyderco's, ZTs, and other knives like that, CRKTs. And I've purchased a couple of custom knives. My first one was the Curtis F3. This is just a fantastic knife of CTS XHP with these beautifully anodized titanium frames and that carbon fiber insert. I love this knife. I probably carry this knife the most of any of them just because it is the strongest, most reliable, and just a wonderful cutter. I love the edge that I've gotten on it with a wicked edge there from a friend of mine. Just an amazing, amazing knife. I have nothing negative to say about this knife. I still am so thankful to Dave Curtis for all the work he put into that knife. Similarly, the jewel of my collection, the Peter Rossetti Nirvana, is just heaven to me. It truly is knife nirvana. This is the one-of-one hand-contoured frame. He called it the Coke bottle frame. I'm not familiar with any other Nirvanas that he's made in this style, and it is just buttery, buttery smooth, the absolute smoothest knife that I have ever encountered. And so I've gotten a little bit spoiled on these sort of full custom knives, and so it's driven me to purchase another one. So I'm going to go ahead and move these guys off the frame here, and I'm going to bring out a wonderful, wonderful knife from Olamic Tactical. If you guys follow my channel or you follow anything about the knife world, you've probably seen something or other about Olamic. Nick Shabazz called his Wayfarer 247 the knife of the year 2016. It's a fantastic company with beautiful knives and wonderful customization options. So the Wayfarer is not their only model. They have a couple of them. They have some larger and smaller Wayfarers, but then they have their biggest folding knife, and that is called the Rainmaker. So I ordered mine. Before I reveal the knife totally, I'm just going to bring out the certificate of authenticity here. It's a 4.125-inch blade. This one is in CTS XHP with a satin finish, compound grind, with Mokume bolsters, carbon fiber handles, and a Mokume clip with an anodized frame. So enough of the descriptions on that one. Let's go ahead and bust out the Dr. Frunkey Poonmaker. Wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful knife. If you follow my Instagram, perhaps you saw pictures of this. This was my most popular post by far. I'm used to getting about 50 likes on any given picture or something. This picture got 950 likes or something like that. It's out of control. This just, took the Instagram knife community by storm, and I think anyone who saw it gave me a like, and I'm very appreciative of that. And there's a very good reason for that. This is a beautiful damn knife. So let's just soak in the details before we even open it up. I'm just going to zoom in here, try not to catch my own face in the reflection on the Mokume there. So we've got Mokume curved bolsters. So what is Mokume? Mokume is a Japanese metallurgical process where they take two different metals. It's a lot like Damascus steel. Damascus steel is two different types of steel that are hammered together and folded and refolded and melted and folded until they generate a beautiful pattern, and then they can be etched to form a nice pattern. Mokume is from the Japanese phrase of mokumegane, which means wood-like or appears like wood, and that is usually something like copper and silver or copper and brass that makes this interesting wood grain texture, almost fingerprint-like texture going on here. You can see it on the clip, you can see it on the bolster. It is absolutely stunningly, stunningly beautiful. I had seen a knife that was similar to this done with ironwood handles. I didn't really want wood, and so I asked if they had any marbled carbon fiber, and of course they did, and boy is that beautiful. So let's get a nice large shot of that and check out that blade with that compound hollow grind. Thinner back here so you can get a nice push cut through some cardboard or something if you need to, and then a nice strong reinforced tip. It's got that harpoon swedge. And so that takes this Rainmaker and it turns it into a Poonmaker. And that is just simply the coolest name of any knife in the history of knives. Let's just be honest. The Poonmaker. If any women actually watch this video, their panties would be moist right now. But they are most certainly not watching this because I don't think any girls are watching this. This is a fantastic, fantastic knife that was built absolutely to my specifications. I wanted the curved bolsters made out of mokume. I wanted the mokume clip, the marbled carbon fiber. In the knives that I had seen previously, they had done some file work on the frame, and they had done it in a plain titanium. I wanted to go with gold because the pictures of their mokume suggested that it was a bit more brass. Certainly the finished product came out a bit more copper than I was anticipating, and so that's okay. I still think it looks fantastic. I'm glad to have a customized look going on there. It does give it that extra touch of flair, and it is absolutely beautiful. It came to me absolutely perfectly centered, and the action is absolutely ideal. Now, I need to get into a little bit of an issue that I've had with this knife, and I need to preface this by saying I do not want to detract from the reputation of Olamic. Olamic has a stellar reputation across the knife community, but I need to be honest in my reviews with you guys and talk to you about an issue or two that I've had with this knife just simply straight off the bat. Now, I made an initial video on this right when I got it, and it was very positive, but after using it for a couple of hours, I noticed some sort of large issues that have arisen, and I do want to talk to you about that. So I'm going to do a close-up shot here on the blade, and I want to see, oh, that's not in focus at all. That's even worse. Let's see if I can get that to work. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to try to, there we go. That's the perfect angle right there. I want you guys to see if you can appreciate the micro scratches that are going on there. So I paid close to $900 for this knife, and it came to me with some scratches on the blade finish, just kind of staring me right in the face. I actually noticed it when I opened it for the first time, and it was just kind of shocking to me that they were there on the show side. But add to that, there are some on the lock side as well, or the clip side, if you will. I'm going to try to get these in frame here. So there are some scratches going on here at the joint of the grinds going on there. And then there are some more scratches. It's really hard to capture it on camera, especially with the fading light of the evening right here. Maybe you can see them here. Yeah, I'm going to bring it closer, and maybe you can see it. There we go. That may be in focus for you. Can you see those scratches coming across? This is supposed to be sort of a showstopper knife. This is a presentation knife. This is not a hard user knife. So I was really hoping that this would just be spectacularly beautiful straight out of the box. And it is, but it has those issues. Now, some people might let that slide, but I thought that was a bit of a problem. But there was an even bigger issue, and that was actually after I flipped it a few dozen times, maybe only about 20 or 30 times. I'm going to actually do it here on camera because I fixed the problem. But if I flip this a few times and just give it a nice, normal flicks, I'm not really doing anything out of control. I'm not flicking it hard. I'm just flicking it normally. Also, I want you to appreciate how nice the action is. I want you to see that it's not really doing it on camera, of course, right now, but it gets off center. The pivot starts working its way out of the frame. I'm not sure if you can appreciate right now that this screw is a little bit more prominent than this one, and that's because it's slowly working its way out of the bolster right there, out of the actual pivot. And this knife is getting a little bit looser with every time. Now, if you've ever had a flipper, you'll know that it shouldn't have this kind of play to it when you're pushing down and sort of pre-tensing the flipper tab. Sometimes we do that in order to get a nice hard flick, but the blade should not wiggle. That's indicative of a loose pivot, and it is starting to slide over towards that side now, just a little bit. So a couple of pretty striking issues with a very expensive and very nice knife. Now, I took these issues up to Eugene almost immediately, and I will say that he has been nothing but very receptive, very kind, and honestly, he said he was quite embarrassed about the whole ordeal, that it shouldn't have shipped to me that way. And so he's going to let me ship it back to him, and he's going to fix these issues and then get it back to me. I'm going to make a second unboxing, and I'm going to talk about that. I may change some things on the knife when I send it back to him. I'm hoping to keep it more or less the same, but we'll see. So go and check out Olamic's stuff. I'm going to let you guys know how this whole interaction goes, and I am going to keep the knife. Click like and subscribe to my channel. Go check out my Instagram at Dr. Frunkey. And just, I want to be honest with you guys. I hope you guys appreciate that. This is Dr. Frunkey saying take care.